Good morning and what is up, everyone? We've got a busy day ahead of us. Got a lot of things to do on the new 2018 Dodge Charger. So let's get started. Amazing. And I can't wait. Start getting some mods on her. Alright. Gotta go though. I'm gonna be late. Need to grab something out of the other car, and then we can get a cold start done. Time for a cold start. I got an airplane flying overhead, so we'll wait. Give it a chance to pass. You don't want to miss this. This is amazing. All right. Truly cold start. It is 48 degrees outside right now. Neighbors hate me. I'm sure they hate me. All right, car's ready to go. We're ready to go. All right, let's do it. Oh my God. Oh geez. Wow. Okay, I gotta put the camera down and control this damn beast. Alright, now that I'm getting on the road, hopefully the tires have warmed up a little bit. They're really cold this morning. This thing feels like it's sliding all over the place, so that's not crazy. So require a little bit more of my attention to get the initial driving done. And now it looks like we got some road closure here, so I might have to put you back down. We got a merge going, and this one jackass thinks he's gonna get to the front of the line, so that's fun, right? Like, don't know how to merge. Awesome. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. This guy right there, right? Like, look at me, I'm gonna cut in front of the line. Look at me. So, all right, here we go. We're on our way to the dealership, and then once we get there, we're going to get the second Keyfob program for this vehicle. So anytime you buy a used car, like 90% of the time it's not going to come with a second key fob, which really sucks. But you got two options. My options, what I did was call around to some dealerships, and they said, yeah, sure, we'll get you a key fob and a key for $200 programmed and everything. I said, I don't want to do that, right? So I looked online. I found a key fob company. I'll let you know who it was. But I bought from them. They delivered it real quickly. It was like 49 bucks plus $20 to overnight it. And boom, I had it the next day. Didn't really necessarily need it the next day, but I wanted to get it right away so that I wasn't waiting on it, because I didn't know when I'd have an opportunity to come by and get the key program. So now we're going to the dealership. They're gonna program the key for me. The key fob, I guess I should say.
Turn left on Grand Parkway.
All right, so they're gonna program it, but they can't cut the key. The key that came with it is a blank key because I ordered it online and not through a dealership. We ordered through a dealership.
Continue straight for 12 minutes to I-45, Houston, Dallas.
So if we order through a dealership, I'm assuming it comes already pre-cut with the correct key, or at least whenever you get it from them, it's already cut. For me, it's not cut yet, so I gotta have it cut. So I'm actually gonna go to another dealership then and get the key cut while I'm getting some service done on the car. Yeah, I just bought the car. Yeah, supposedly they basically have essentially done a 30,000 mile maintenance on this car at the used car dealership where I bought it. It's a new car dealership, but I bought it used. You know what? I think I want to get it checked out anyways by an actual Dodge dealership. Just have them take a look at it, run the computer, and just check everything out and make sure everything is 100% okay, right? So we can argue about whether or not I should have done that before I bought the car. That's another story altogether. So we're on our way to the dealership, and I'll see you when we get there. Well, it seems like customer service is dead. So they want to charge me $150 here at the dealership I bought this car from just to program the key fob. But if I go over to the other dealership where I have to go to get the service done and to get the spare key cut anyways, it's 80 bucks for programming and 20 bucks for cutting the keys. So, you know, it's a pretty easy choice, and it's all better than like the original $200 I was quoted, right, for everything. So I mean, we're pretty close at the end of the day, so it seems like they kind of get you coming or going. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm just kind of I don't know, wipe my hands of dealing with the other dealership, right? I don't want to deal with them anymore. It was enough to deal with them over this car. We'll go into that in a completely separate video, but for now, let's go to the other dealership and get the service done, our key cut, and the key fob programmed. All right, everyone, it's the next day, and I didn't film the rest of the day at the dealership and getting the work done on the car because, well, it was just a really long, boring day, and there wasn't a lot to film. There was kind of one cool car in the lot, which was this really kind of a lime green Jeep, but other than that, not a lot to look at. So I didn't film anything there. I'll tell you what I did. I spent most of the time there working on putting together videos. I took my laptop with me, and while I was there, I got some work done. So I'm going to continue though with a story of how I acquired this 2018 Go Mango Orange Dodge Charger. All right, as promised, here's the story of how I found and bought this 2018 Dodge Charger Scat Pack, and a little bit of why I don't think I'm ever going to go back to that dealership. My wife bought a Dodge Challenger, and she bought that about a year ago. So that's kind of when the Dodge brand came into our lives and into our garage. I do like that car. I enjoyed it. It's not really, at the end of the day, my kind of car, mostly just because personally I prefer four doors. So this car is much more to my liking, simply because at the very least it has four doors instead of two. Like, if you know about my other car, you know that also is a sedan. It's just something I like. You know, fast forward to maybe about a month ago, or maybe 2 months ago, I don't know, whenever Goon Squad actually started doing their new build on their all-wheel drive police Charger. And that kind of maybe piqued my interest again in Chargers, mostly because it was all-wheel drive. And my current daily driver, which is a 2015 Audi S4, this vehicle right here, is all-wheel drive, of course. It has Quattro. I really like that. So I started looking at the Chargers and thinking, well, maybe this is something that I could do, right? Maybe this is something I'm interested if I can find an all-wheel drive model. I've had many conversations with my wife and about what we need to have in our next cars. We talk about this from time to time, so maybe that's weird, and go, here's what has to be, absolutely has to be in the next version of our cars. I already knew any new car that I bought was going to have Apple CarPlay. So that's kind of at the top, right? I really think because Apple CarPlay is constantly updated, that's really a preferential interface versus the normal interfaces for most dealers, which is fairly static, or they're slow to update their interface, or it's just clunky. So Apple CarPlay is not perfect by any means. We could talk about that in another video, but for me, it was like, this is a must-have. So I was pleasantly surprised when I found out that all 2017 and above Dodge Chargers have Apple CarPlay. I was actually looking for a 2018 to 2019 model because it's almost 2020 and I like to buy a model that's about up to 2 years out of date. 1 to 2 years is kind of that sweet spot. I don't like to buy new cars. So that's another thing on the list for me. That's a requirement, is it's not new. I'm not looking for a new car. I will look for a used or even a CPO car though, because I do like a little bit of that guarantee that you get with the CPO. My current car is a CPO, and I love it. So that was something I was looking for as well. After doing a lot of research on these, the other things that I kind of did the research into the various packages and options that come with the car. And another thing that I knew that I had to have in a new car or a newer car is adaptive cruise, right? I'm going to drive this car. I may drive it long distances. I drive a lot of miles every day. And if I ever daily drive this car back and forth to work, sometimes you want to have adaptive cruise because you're just tired, or you're in a lot of traffic, and you want to be able to just relax a little bit, right? I don't want to have to drive the car, like drive the car every minute of every day. So it's okay for me to let the car do a little bit of the work occasionally, right? That's the whole purpose of a car, if you really think about it. Some other things after doing some research, I knew that I wanted to get these bigger brakes, right? It's Brembo 6-piston brakes up front. So that meant I needed to get the Dynamics package. So that technology package is what gives you the adaptive cruise, and a bunch of other stuff. And the Dynamics package with these vehicles is what gives you the Brembo 6-piston brakes up front and the 20 by 9.5-inch wheels all around. Finally, the last thing that was like, it's got to be this or nothing, right? So I knew the color was a big stickler. I can afford to be a little picky. So I looked at 3 colors: yellow jacket yellow, mango orange, which this color it's just amazing. Now, pardon the clear coat because it looks like, well, this looks terrible. But when you get up close, this color is really, really beautiful. There's just a little tiny pearl in it. It's not a whole lot. It's just like a little tiny bit of glitter or something almost in the paint. So there's a little shimmer, a little pearl. So I knew it had to be either yellow jacket yellow, the go mango orange, or the plum crazy purple. Put all my requirements in Auto Trader, and what popped up? Not much. Not much at all. So I expanded my search nationwide, and what popped up? About 4 cars. That was it. 2 were orange, 2 were yellow. Wasn't really in love with the yellow. I just kind of threw it in there just to have some more things show up. And so what I was really leaning towards was either the purple or the orange. No purple showed up for whatever reason. They're pretty, I want to say they're rare. They're not as common. In regards to the specs that I wanted, when I was looking, there was no plum crazy purple available. So it was this car or another one, basically. The other car was in Missouri. I didn't really want to have to fly somewhere if I didn't have to. And this one was actually just about 20 miles away. So that made it a pretty good deal to try and go and get this car. So pardon the odd segue, but obviously the video is running long because I love to tell a story. So because of that, I'm gonna cut it off here, and we're gonna continue this in the next video. So you're not gonna wanna miss the wonderful antics of the dealership and me dealing with them, but at least you got the part, how I chose and why I chose this particular vehicle. And then next video, we're really gonna cover just the buying of the car and having to deal with the dealership, which is really, unfortunately, a very poor experience. So tune in for that to hear all the craziness of dealing with them. Again, I'm not going to name the dealership, but I do just cover some interesting information about how I had to deal with them. And there's some tips in there, a few at the end of the next video, I think, about what I did ahead of time to prepare for dealing with this dealership. So please tune in for the next half of this story, and don't forget to enjoy those rides. Have a great day.